Hi, welcome to Wicked Yankee TV. This week we decided to call our show Keeping the Faith. As you might have noticed, I have ashes on my forehead, and that's because I'm Catholic. Today's Ash Wednesday. It's a very important day in the Catholic Church. It's the beginning of Lent. Lent celebrates the 40 days and 40 nights that Jesus wandered into the desert. It culminates in the joyous celebration of Easter, which is that's like the Super Bowl for the Catholic Church. Not only did I grow up Catholic, but Bucky also grew up a very strict Catholic. So he should be getting his ashes and should be here any time now. He's running a little bit late. I don't know where he is.
I'm here. I got my ashes. I'm all set.
Those aren't the right type of ashes. What are you doing?
They're my ashes, yeah.
Hold on, Bucky, I thought your faith was important to you.
My faith is very important to me. I'm a recovering Catholic, and a lot of my faith relies on my spirituality, and my spirituality happens this time of year to be into, let's say, spring training with the Red Sox.
Okay, well, you have a point there. You know, faith comes in a lot of different forms, and this is such a wonderful time of year to celebrate faith and to share it with other people. It can come in formal religion, sports, music, and food.
Music and food.
Yeah. No one does it better down with the food for the Lent than down in Louisiana.
Fat Tuesday, the day before Lent. As you know, I have Acadian in me too, so I love the music, I love the food, and it's just a great celebration.
Yeah, it is wonderful. They do such a great job, and going down to see Mardi Gras is a thing that we all want to share with all of you. So let's watch now.
Bamoyan tibo, de tibo, toi tibo doudou. Bamoyan tibo, de tibo, toi tibo doudou. Bamoyan tibo, de tibo, toi tibo. Bamo tout ça oulé, pour soulager moi.
You know, Bucky, one of the challenges being Catholic during the Lent season is Fridays. We usually have fish because you're not allowed to have meat on Fridays. So a lot of times we think, what type of dishes are we going to make? What will everybody like? And we're always looking to try new things.
Right.
So we were very, very lucky to meet a wonderful Cajun Creole chef named Chris Kozłowski from Crescent City Kitchens. It is a food truck that is so great in the Northeast for its very unique Americana food of Cajun and Creole cuisine.
In the middle of nowhere in a small town called Farmington, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We found his place, and it was just incredible. The smells, he had that cast iron stove smoking
It was
that
smoking
skillet.
hot. Yeah, it was fantastic. So, and he taught us how to make a great simple dish that you guys can make at home. It's wonderful. So you got to watch this. We are out here in the middle of the wilderness in Farmington, New Hampshire, with 6 feet of snow practically in drifts, in a luxurious, beautiful log cabin to find the best Cajun Creole cuisine you are going to find in the Northeast. We are here with Chef Chris Kozłowski. Thank you so much for joining us.
Excellent. Thanks for coming out.
But people like to call you Koz.
Koz.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you have a great reputation for some of the fantastic cuisine that I love, and I would like for you to share it at this special time of year. Bucky and I are discussing Mardi Gras.
Yes.
And Ash Wednesday. And what better than to have Cajun and Creole cuisine?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
It's a time of the year, so it's not really celebrated too much in New England, so hopefully this will get the word out and people will really enjoy some of the flair from New Orleans right here. The dish I'm about to do here is shrimp Creole, a pretty traditional Cajun Creole. I can use those terms together, but it's a southern New Orleans dish that is popular at many restaurants down in New Orleans. What we're gonna do is we start with a little bit of butter. We got a blazing hot cast iron pan that I've heated up for about 10 minutes. Now, one thing to remember is this is a home stove, so on our commercial kitchen, the stove's a lot hotter, so that's why I heated this pan up for about 12 minutes. If you do this at home, make sure you open your windows. And then what we're gonna do is add the shrimp to it. Just enough to give them some nice color. They don't have to be cooked all the way. In fact, you almost don't want to cook them all the way because as they cook in the whole dish, once the vegetables go in, it actually adds more flavor from the juices in the actual dish itself. So what we're gonna do, we start with the shrimp. We use a little black and red fish magic, Paul Prudhomme seasoning that works really well on the flavor-wise and goes really well. You can also use Old Bay, just Old Bay is very concentrated, so you gotta go very light with it. The other one in the stores are Zatarain's. We get a little bit more salt, or did we season it the proper amount? So as you can see here, we are cooking the cast irons blazing hot. Now, I'm gonna flip the shrimp. As you can see, some nice, they're browning up very nicely. Want a little color on them like that. And again, the shrimp Creole recipes in Louisiana, every chef has their own interpretation. A lot of chefs, including Paul Prudhomme and all that, take this dish, saute all the vegetables, and throw the shrimp raw into the dish and cover it once the vegetables are cooked. I think this actually adds a little bit more flavor with the color of the shrimp on it. And I'm just gonna add another little pinch of the, not a lot, just enough to barely coat of the red fish magic. And as you see, the butter does tend to dry up a little bit as it cooks, so I just throw in little tiny quarter teaspoon at a time just to make sure there's enough in there so that it still coats the pan. So as you can see, just barely, not even fully cooked through. Just like that's what you're looking for, a nice color on both sides. Beautiful. You could eat it just like that if you had enough shrimp with you, actually.
Smells fantastic.
Yep. So then I'm gonna take the shrimp out. As you can see, they're nice and just barely cooked through.
beautiful.
Yep.
It's important not to overcook it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to dry them out. So you leave this in this pan for another 5 minutes and they're going to be completely cooked and dry out. You can actually eat them. I mean, shrimp's 135 degrees or above, so it's not like some meats like different things that you have to cook to 165. You can actually cook them safely to 135.
Right.
So then, that's why I always keep a good supply of butter. Coat the pan again. As you can see in the bottom of the pan, there's still a lot of that flavor from some of the shrimp particles. You want that. That is what they call fond. The fond is the different particles that got left over from whatever you cooked beforehand. So we have that. So what we'll do is, we'll start with some onions. I cooked a lot, so I'm not going to do them all. I'd say about half an onion you want to start with. They're all sliced up. And then we're going to take some mixture of some peppers, red and green, and some celery.
The Holy Trinity, right?
The Holy Trinity, yep.
I think people would be intimidated by cooking on such a high heat sometimes.
It does. You just got to be careful for it. Again, a domestic cooktop stove doesn't run usually higher than 18,000 BTUs, and to get technical about it, and a commercial stove runs 25 to 30,000.
Oh, wow.
So you got to keep a lot more eye out when you're doing it on a commercial. The other thing you got to remember too, when you cook it on a home stove, that once you add your vegetables and all that to it, that it actually cools the pan down faster, so you don't have to worry about it as much.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. And then what I do after I add all the vegetables, as Emerald says, bam! About a tablespoon. I use garlic religiously. You don't have to if you're not a fan, but I use about a tablespoon of garlic.
It's really good for you.
It is. Garlic's great. And that is what we call down in Louisiana the Holy Trinity. And that is what they call mirepoix up here. Mirepoix is typically looked at as carrots, onions, and celery up here. The Trinity is without carrots in Louisiana. Instead of that, they use peppers and garlic.
And the great thing is, this is a healthy dish.
Yeah.
This is vegetables and protein.
It's vegetables and protein. If you see it, I mean the butter, and we use not even
that much.
probably a teaspoon and a half of it. That's it.
Yeah.
And it is. It's healthy. It's now not to say that Cajun Creole food isn't healthy,
Right.
because a lot of people, I mean, the fattest people in the world are from New Orleans. So
Fact.
and that's true.
They're
That's
just
a fact.
happy. They're just
Oh,
happy.
they're the happiest people in the world.
So,
So anyway, you see right now how we did that. So the vegetables are right where we want them. Just some nice color on them, and just starting to wilt a little bit. So we're going to take the shrimp back, put those right back in.
wonderful.
And then all we're going to do, because remember the shrimp are pretty much all the way cooked through, we're just going to mix these back together. Some people, when they make the dish, make shrimp stock and add that to it, and this and that and the other thing. I think the flavor all comes out real nicely the way we do it. We take a little dry sherry, and we take that and pour that in about just enough to. Now this is probably about a half a cup, a third to a half a cup. And what that does is that is taking the particles on the bottom of the pan and now taking them off and mixing them right back into the pan itself,
And
or the sauce itself.
well, so sherry is kind of a Spanish flavor, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's, again, Creole food is a
mix.
blend of anything.
Yeah, I love it.
So then again, just a little bit more of the Paul Prudhomme seasoning and the whole thing there. And then once the sherry almost completely melts off, dries up just like that, so you have almost none left.
Boy, that smells amazing.
Oh yeah. That's what my version of shrimp Creole is. And then what we do is we take a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just a couple dabs. Like
Some people
that.
say Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
I say Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Now, you want to make it how hot you want it to be. With Cajun Creole food, the big misconception is that that people say it's too spicy. In New England, people take Tabasco, pour it on something, and say, now you got Cajun Creole.
Yeah.
What you want to do with Tabasco, and Tabasco is one of the most popular sauces still used down there. The McElhaney families from Avery Island My personal opinion is Chipotle Tabasco sauce is the best sauce out there. We use it on
that's
everything.
great.
But literally just a couple dabs. So I'd say that's like 4 or 5 dabs, that's it. You don't want to heat it up, it's just to add to the flavor. Yep, and then you turn the heat down at that point.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And this
And
is a
just
great, yeah?
You're just gonna add a touch of thyme and oregano. Just a little bit of oregano.
Is that traditional in?
It's, oh yeah. It's traditional in the southern, just a little bit of thyme. Dried's fine if you use fresh stuff because some chefs are like, ooh, fresh. Fresh is actually too strong for the dish, so the dry actually gives it, enhances it, but doesn't overpower. If you
Right.
put fresh thyme in here, you'd be like, ooh, you got it.
It's more balanced.
Yep. So now it's turned down. The last ingredient right here is our tomato sauce.
Yeah, that's just regular
Yep.
tomato sauce.
And
not
I use a little bit of water in the dish to add just,
to thin it out.
yeah, to thin it and also to get some of the tomato sauce out of my dish right there. Just a little bit like that. And
What a great dish to make for the
Yep.
family.
Yep.
You know, especially if you are under the gun with time.
yep,
That you're able to make something this fantastic.
throw something together like that. Yep. So, yeah, so, and then other recipes call for fresh tomatoes. You can do that as well. A lot of them use fresh tomatoes. I just think with all the other vegetables and tomato sauce in there, you have everything.
Yeah, it's complete.
And you literally just heat it up enough so that everything bubbles like that. You kill it. And like we talked about before, you don't want to over season. So we'll just hit it with a little sea salt, just a tiny bit there.
Is that electric?
It is. It is. Hey, it's easier.
That's so cool.
They are. They're great. So,
Oh my
so
goodness.
just a little salt and pepper.
Holy cow.
Yep. And then we have regular white rice. Some people ask, oh, it's plain rice. You want it plain because the flavor is coming from the dish.
Right.
You can put chicken stock, do all that stuff, but it really, it's the rice just is there to give it some sort of backbone.
Right.
It doesn't have to be all seasoned and whatnot.
Yeah, you want that rice to pick up the flavor.
Yep, exactly. And then once this is done, so that's your shrimp Creole dish in the pan right there. And then if we want to get pretty about it,
We want to get pretty.
yeah.
That's real pretty.
Yep. Take it like this.
I can tell you've done this many times before.
In a restaurant for many, many years.
Is this one of your family's favorite dishes?
It's up. I mean, it's you know, every dish from Louisiana is our favorite
Oh,
one.
that's great.
One of the most popular dishes we did back at the Crescent City Bistro was called alligator cheesecake, actually. And people said it, same look you get from a lot of people. An alligator cheesecake
Yeah.
is actually a savory dish, not a sweet dish.
Oh, like a cheesecake.
And it's like a
I mean,
it's like a quiche.
Like a
And it
quiche.
has, it's very savory, garlic, sausages, cream cheese, and all that.
That sounds
And
delicious.
it's fantastic. So, yep. So we'll just add some of the vegetables right on top of the on that.
And it's a great time of year.
Yep.
During Lent to be able to have a nice, zesty, tangy, hearty dish.
And then,
Nobody-
yep.
So this is
Nope.
scallions.
And then just a little scallions to finish it. And that is our shrimp Creole dish right there. So,
This looks wonderful.
good. More people should do Cajun Creole food in New
That
England,
shrimp
huh?
is so juicy.
Yep.
And yet it has that almost like a, I think it's the way you cooked it in the cast iron, it has like a smokiness.
Taste to it from doing it the way I did it. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that is delicious. Holy cow. Bucky, you gotta try
Yep.
this.
I want to this.
This is an untraditional king cake.
Yeah, well, I have heard about king cakes, but I don't know what they are.
So king cake has been a Mardi Gras tradition during the weeks before Mardi Gras. Been doing it since the dawn of time. Back in the day, they made these cakes for the season. They're a cream cheese filling with usually cream cheese, sugar, vanilla, and all that. And then they're finished with also a cream cheese frosting on top with the colors of Mardi Gras, which is your green, purple, and yellow sugars on top. This is, when I say untraditional, this tastes like it. It's just that when they make it down there, the yeast and doughs have to rise and all that.
Yeah.
You can actually find the ingredients at the store up here to make it in about 30 minutes in your own
that's
home.
great.
So we made this, and now the interesting thing in the story about king cake is every king cake that's made in Louisiana, they put a small baby plastic, tiny baby little plastic thing inside. They push it inside the king cake. And when you go to bring it home and the whole family shares it, whoever bites into the king cake has to buy the king cake next year for the family. So it's a
That's
very
a great
interesting tradition
tradition
in New Orleans, and that's what it is. And it's a little figurine. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
A figurine that's put in there, and you just know it when you bite into the king cake and put it in. So my son the other night when we made it said we don't have a baby figurine, so he had a big, tiny plastic spider, and I bit into that the other day. So
That's so
yeah.
funny.
So anyway, so that's what that's very authentic. What it should look like. I
great.
just made it with some ingredients I could find at the store.
So it's a circular ring of cake
Yes.
with a traditional green, purple, and gold.
Yep.
And it signifies the Mardi Gras time.
It's the Mardi Gras dessert. It's always been, and down there's a store called Rouse's that does these, and they make millions of them for the
Oh, my
week.
goodness.
And this is pretty much one of the signatures of Mardi Gras.
Bucky and I had such a great time coming here today. It was so wonderful to come here in the middle of the woods in winter to prepare some great Cajun and Creole dishes. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks
You've
for
been
coming
delightful.
out.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you.
The only other thing I'd mention is to go with these, if you are looking for a drink that I highly recommend, there's a drink called the Sazerac cocktail. There's actually a great place in Rochester that he actually makes them perfectly, but it is a rye whiskey, Pernod absinthe, and a little bit of Peychaud bitters, which Peychaud
yum.
are from. And Sazerac actually is the oldest cocktail in the world, and it was founded in New Orleans.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and if you find a good bartender at a reputable place, they should be able to do a Sazerac. It is a strong drink, so you got to be careful,
okay.
but very tasty, and that's what I choose when I go out to have some Cajun Creole food.
Oh, that's great. That's great. These smell absolutely fantastic. They taste even better. So this is wonderful. Thank you so much
Thanks
for
a lot.
joining us.
Yep, thanks for coming out,
Oh, and have a wonderful Lent.
and see us on the road someday.
That's right.
Bamoyan Tibo, de Tibo, toi Tibo Doudou. Bamoyan Tibo, de Tibo, toi Tibo Doudou. Bamoyan Tibo, de Tibo, toi Tibo. Bamo tout ça oulé, pour sous la jet moi.
I've been waiting for the earth to move beneath my feet. I've been screaming from the top of the mountain, can you hear me? I will become to you what I am to me. I will become to you what I am to me. I will become to you what I am to me. What I am to me.
We're going where no roads were before. Wait, hold on. Bucky, you're so good at driving. Bucky, how did you learn how to drive a golf cart?
I went to school for it.
Wait! What are you gonna make? Wait a second, hold on. Wicked Yankee TV.
My name's Steve and I love Wicked Yankee TV.
I had a wicked time with Tara and Becky.
I love Wicked Yankee TV.
I love Wicked Yankee TV.
Tune into Wicked Yankee TV.
To see what being a native Vermonter is all about.
I love Wicked Yankee TV.
And please tune in to Wicked Yankee TV special.
Tune into our Christmas special and
We love Wicked Yankee TV.
Welcome, boys and girls. As a special treat, I want you to tune into Wicked Yankee TV's Christmas special on the Yankee Cable Network. Salute, ho, ho, ho. Have a wicked TV Christmas.